Viewers, welcome back to my channel. I am Neha Paryani. In this session, we are going to discuss another topic from our first chapter of Business Studies Class 7, that is factors to be considered while starting up a business unit. So basically, all these are the topics that you have in your first chapter. So we have a video on each of the topics. So till now, we have discussed up to objectives of business in our previous sessions. So today we will be discussing with the factors to be considered while starting a business unit. So the link for the previous videos, you can get it in the description box below, also at the end of this video. So keep watching. So basically, all these are the factors that we need to consider while starting a business. See, starting a business is not an easy task. It requires a lot of pre-planning. Okay, without a proper plan or without a good idea, it is very difficult to start a business. And the success or failure of the business depends upon a lot of factors actually. Okay, so all these factors are discussed below. We will discuss them one by one. So the first factor that we have to consider before starting a business is the nature and type of the business that we are going to start. Okay, there are various different types of business, like we can say we can start up a manufacturing unit, which involves the producing activities, which involves manufacturing of any product. Okay, or we can start up a trading business. So it does not involve any manufacturing, but it involves only buying and selling of goods. Buying goods from one person and then selling it to the customer. That is a trading type of business. Or we can also start up a logistic type of business. We can say transport business. Okay, so first of all, we need to decide what type of business or what could be the nature of our business that we are going to start up. Suppose if we are starting up with a manufacturing unit, then it requires a large area. It requires a large setup actually. It requires labor, machinery, finance, many things. Okay, so a lot of planning is required for a manufacturing business. It also requires the taking a lot of permissions, license from the city planning, town planning, municipal commission, etc. Okay, but if we are thinking of starting a trading business, so comparing to a manufacturing business, trading business requires less efforts, less equipments, less time, we can say, because we can start it on a smaller scale. We just require some labor. We just require the products that we are going to sell. Okay, and we just require a place where we can sell the products. That's all. Comparing to a manufacturing unit, starting up a trading business will be an easier task. Okay, and if we are thinking of starting up with a logistic business or transport business, where we are giving the transportation facilities. Okay, so then we should see that do we have adequate resources or not? Do we have adequate vehicles to carry on the logistic business? So that is why deciding the nature or type of the business that we are going to start up is a very important factor that we need to consider before starting up the business. So second factor is again very important, the size of the business. So size of the business again matters. If we have limited resources, we cannot start up with a huge business. We cannot start up the business on a larger scale initially. Okay, if we have limited finance, if we have limited space, we can say, okay, then we should think of starting up a business at a smaller scale, or we can say that we should think of starting a small business like this. So initially having big plans is also risky. Okay, because everything we cannot risk, right? So that is why we should slowly gradually start with a smaller scale when we have limited resources. And in case if we have adequate resources, then we can plan of starting up a business at a larger scale. Okay, so this is the second factor, size of business, which matters before starting up the business. Okay, then third factor is choice of ownership. Okay, So again, in advance, we need to decide that what type of business or what will be the type of ownership of our business that we are going to start up. Are we going to start up a sole proprietary firm? So sole proprietor business means where a single person is managing with all the tasks. So when we are starting up with a sole proprietor business or single owner business, we can say, then it is easy to take decisions. Okay, then it is easy to implement the actions, because a lot of thinking, a lot of discussions will not be required. Okay, then we can also think of starting a partnership business. So in partnership business, there are more than one owner. Okay, there are minimum two or a maximum many owners actually. So in a partnership business, decision taking will be little bit difficult, because all the partners' decisions matters. All the partners have equal rights in the business. Okay, and all the partners have the authority to participate in the business. So in that case, taking decisions will be a little may take more time when compared to sole proprietary business. Okay, then, or we can also think of starting up a company, or we can say a public company which has many shareholders. Okay, so shareholders will definitely help in investing the money into the company, but they also have certain rights on the company. Again, taking decisions in a company is a difficult task, because there will be many shareholders, and it is not necessary that all the shareholders have same thinking process or have same thinking. Okay, so the choice of ownership is also very important. We should decide in prior that which type of business we are going to start up. So next factor which affects the business, which affects the starting up of business, is location. So again, this is very much important. It completely affects on the success or failure of the business. So you must be thinking, how does the location of a business affects the success or failure? Okay, suppose you can take the example of this industry. So this industry, assume it is located in the middle of the city. Okay, so when it is located in the middle of the city, so it might create pollution which can create harm to the people. Okay, it might create sound pollution, noise pollution, or you can say air pollution, many things. Okay, so that is not a good idea to start up an industry in the middle of the city, right? So the location of the manufacturing business or some industries should be somewhere far from the city. Then it can work efficiently. It will not create trouble for any of the citizens or any people, and they can peacefully conduct their business uh, far away from the city. Okay, and take another example, like where you have a trading business or a business which is in the outskirts of the city or far away from the city. Then it is not easily reachable to the customer. The customer do not have easy access to your business. The customer is not easily able to reach to your business. Then do you think your business will work? Who will come to purchase your products? Right? So trading type of business should be in the middle of the city. Okay, whereas manufacturing type of business should be far away from the city. Okay, so the location that you're choosing for your business, depending upon the type of your business, is also very important factor for the success or failure of the business. Okay, next point is availability of finance. Okay, so finance is called as the lifeblood of the business. It is called as the lifeblood. For like for our body, how blood is important, in the same way for running a business, finance is required. Okay, we should see that before starting up of business, we should see that we have adequate finance, or we have proper availability of finance. Okay, finance is nothing but, we can say capital, we can say money. So again, it could be fixed capital or working capital. Okay, what it means. So finance is, it does not mean that only when you're going to start the business, then you have money. Suppose you need 2 crore rupees to establish your business, to set up your business. Okay, you have 2 crore rupees with you. Okay, so you started up with your business. Then what next? How would you run the activities of the business if you do not have money? Okay, then again you will require working capital. So working capital is nothing but the money required to carry on day-to-day activities of the business. Okay, so some amount in smaller quantities is also required. So it is not only important to have money during starting of business, but we should plan in such a way that when the business is running, even then we have adequate finance or not. If yes, then we can easily set up the business. If no, then we should plan of arranging the finance. So availability of finance is again a very important aspect of starting up with a business unit. Next point is physical facilities. Okay, so physical facility. Suppose you are starting up with a manufacturing unit, which is far away from the city. Okay, you are starting up with a manufacturing unit and you are producing for example, you're producing some dairy products. Okay, you're producing dairy products and your unit is far away from the city. So only manufacturing unit being far away from the city is not important. So the location that you're choosing, it should have other facilities as well. Okay, so what could be the other facilities? Other facilities like there should be availability of labor. There should be proper adequate availability of labor, because without labor, it is very difficult to run a manufacturing unit or to produce the products. Only machine cannot do all the work. Okay, at least there are some labors required to operate the machines. Okay, definitely these days technology is very advanced. Machine can do everything, but at least to operate the machines, we require labor or we require employees. So we should see that there is adequate availability of labor. Along with it, so there are proper water facilities available. There are proper electricity facilities available near our manufacturing unit. And also there is proper transportation facilities available. So all these facilities, if all the facilities are properly available, then only it is possible to perform the manufacturing activities. Okay, if there is a single missing element also, it would be difficult. Assume like there is no transportation facility near to your manufacturing unit. So you have produced the products. The products are remaining with you itself in the industry. How will you make those products reach to the customer? Only when we have good transportation facilities, right? So we should see that along with the location, all the physical facilities are also available with us. Okay, next factor is competent workforce. Okay, so workforce, we can say again, we can call them as laborers or employees. So if we are starting up a business at a large scale from the initial itself, from the beginning itself, then we should see that we have adequate laborers or employees, whoever is required. Okay, so as I told again, it is not possible to perform all the manufacturing or business activities from a single person. Definitely there has to be a team. Definitely there has to be a group of people. Okay, it might consist of all levels of people, laborers, employees, managers, okay, or owners or executives. Okay, it requires a team to perform any task or to perform any business. So we should see that do we have adequate and competent workforce or not. Again, it is not only important to have a labor, but we should see that does he has enough skills which we require for our business. Okay, suppose there is an engineer. Okay, so suppose there is an engineer and he is ready to work, and we are giving him work in a farm. So that is not a proper decision. Okay, there is a labor available, there is an employee available who is an engineer by profession, but we are giving him employment, we are giving him to work in a farm. So he do not have any knowledge, he do not have any competence to work in a farm. So again, that would be a wrong decision. Okay, so if we are starting up with a software company, then we can say that do we have adequate software engineers or not. Okay, so this is again an important factor. So next is tax planning. So what is mean by tax planning? So there are different aspects to it. So before starting up of business, we should think that definitely we are going to earn the profits and the business has to pay tax to the government. So there are many laws, there are many rules we can say which are related to the tax. It is very important for the owner, or it is very important for us to understand all these laws and rules relating to the tax before starting up of business. Okay, the products that we are dealing with, so how much tax bracket they include. Okay, or what are the laws, is there any further permissions required to produce such products or to sell such products. Okay, how much tax we have to pay to the government. Okay, also tax planning means like thinking or planning like how to reduce the taxes in an legal way. Okay, as much as possible how the business can pay less taxes but in a legal way. Okay, that is also called as a tax planning. So all the business will definitely aim at earning high profits but payment of less taxes. Okay, so that process we call it as a tax planning. So this is also important to increase the profits of the business. And the last factor is the launching of business. So after considering all the factors that we have discussed till now, the last factor will be launching of business. So collecting all the ideas, all the resources, the finance that is required, selecting the location, okay, and thinking about the form of ownership. After tax planning, the last step will be combining all these things and then finally starting up with the business. Okay, so that is our last step. So all these factors we need to consider to start up with the business. Okay, so this was about today's topic. In our next class, we will be discussing about business, the risks and the causes for it. Okay, so that's all for today. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you all in my next session. Till that, happy learning.